I have often heard about how, in the world of wolves, the dominant role is played by the so-called alpha male, the pinnacle of the hierarchy, who constantly faces challenges from other pack members eager to take his place. This image of a commanding leader surrounded by subordinates seems so compelling and dramatic that it has firmly rooted itself in popular culture. However, in reality, all of this represents one of the most persistent myths that continues to mislead millions of people around the world. The entire system involving alpha, beta, and omega wolves, where rigid hierarchy supposedly reigns based on struggles for power, has almost nothing to do with the actual behavior of these animals. But how did this happen? After all, there are scientific works dating back to 1947 dedicated to wolf packs, and studies from the 1970s describing their social structure. It would seem like a solid foundation backed by facts. Nevertheless, all these early scientific conclusions turned out to be erroneous, and today we understand that they were made under conditions far removed from the wolf's natural habitat. Let's delve deeper into this. It was in 1947 that the Swiss zoologist Rudolf Schenkel first proposed the concept of the alpha male and alpha female as the dominant pair in a pack. His observations seemed revolutionary, but the problem was that he studied wolves not in the wild, but in a zoo in Basel, Switzerland, that is, in conditions of complete captivity, where the animals were deprived of freedom and natural space. In such artificial circumstances, wolf behavior was distorted. They became more aggressive, forced to compete for limited resources in a cramped enclosure. Later, in the 1960s, the American researcher David Mech developed the dominance theory by observing wolf packs in confined spaces, such as reserves with limited territory. As you can imagine, this was far from scientific objectivity. The wolves he observed were often unfamiliar with each other, artificially assembled, and had to fight for survival in an unnatural environment full of stress and scarcity. This led to conflicts that simply do not occur with such frequency in the wild. The culmination of this flawed line of research was David Mech's book, The Wolf: Ecology and Behavior of an Endangered Species, published in the 1970s. It quickly became a bestseller, sold in huge print runs, and played a key role in popularizing the idea of the alpha wolf as a ruthless leader. The book influenced movies, documentaries, and even human psychology. Remember all those metaphors about alpha males in business or relationships? However, years later, David Mech himself realized the mistake and publicly refuted his theory. He repeatedly emphasized that the term alpha wolf was outdated and misleading, and he even begged his publisher to stop reprinting the book because the information in it no longer corresponded to reality. But the damage was done. The myth had deeply penetrated mass culture, from Hollywood films to self-help books, and eradicating it proved extremely difficult. This is a vivid example of how scientific misconceptions, born from imperfect methodologies, can live on for decades. Now that we've sorted out the myths, let's move on to reality. What does a real wolf pack actually look like? Why do these animals prefer to stick together? Who makes the decisions in the pack? Is there a leader, or are they completely self-sufficient? How does such a large group survive in the harsh conditions of the wild? Why do wolves howl at the moon? And what is the secret of their biology as one of the most mysterious and adaptive predators of forests and steppes? These questions have intrigued scientists and nature enthusiasts for a long time, and modern research, based on observations in natural environments, provides much more accurate answers to them. Wolf biology is truly unique, and their social structure impresses with its harmony and efficiency. In popular films and books, we often see dramatic clashes between wolves for leadership, bloody duels where the strongest wins and takes the throne. But in real life, such conflicts happen extremely rarely, almost never. In the 1990s and 2000s, David Mech, correcting his early mistakes,
conducted long-term observations of wild wolf packs. He managed to habituate one of the packs to his presence, allowing him to observe them up close without interference. And over a full 13 years of meticulous monitoring, he did not record a single case of aggressive struggle for dominance within the pack. This discovery turned our perceptions upside down. Wolves do not waste energy on internal squabbles, but direct it towards survival and the prosperity of the group.
So, how is a real wolf pack structured? In fact, it's not a random group of predators or a gang of aggressive beasts, as sometimes portrayed. A wolf pack is first and foremost a family in the most literal sense of the word. At the head are the parents, the male and female, and the other members are their offspring of various ages. Young wolves naturally submit to their parents, who possess experience and wisdom. The parents play a key role in food distribution. They always ensure that the smallest pups are fed first. When the pack takes down prey, everyone eats together, but if the carcass is small, the parents satiate themselves first and then decide when to let the pups approach. This isn't tyranny, but care for survival. Adult wolves know how to rationally allocate resources so that the entire family remains strong. Although pack structure can vary depending on the region, an interesting example is the wolf families from Scandinavia. On average, such a pack consists of 6 individuals, 2 parents and 4 offspring. It all starts with the male and female choosing and setting up their territory, a vast section of forest that they mark with their scent using urine and scratches on trees. They jealously guard these boundaries from outsiders to ensure safety and resources for future offspring. Mating usually occurs in February or March, and in May, the pups are born blind and helpless bundles of fur. In the first weeks, the female stays in the den, nursing and warming the babies, while the male hunts alone, bringing food. Then the roles switch. The female goes out to hunt, and the male takes on guarding and caring for the offspring. This role reversal demonstrates remarkable flexibility and mutual support in the pair. Particularly noteworthy is that wolf pairs are an example of true monogamy in the animal world. They remain faithful to each other throughout their lives and rarely change partners until one dies. The only exception is the period of caring for newborns, when they may hunt separately for efficiency. Data from GPS trackers show that in more than 70% of cases, the male and female are within 328 feet, 100 meters of each other, emphasizing their inseparable bond. By September or October, the pups grow enough to accompany their parents on hunts, but still stay in a safe place until the adults return with prey. By November, they become bolder, venturing farther but not leaving the territory. Some young wolves even make short solo excursions for 2 to 3 weeks, returning to the family afterward, which helps them gain experience.
Most pups leave the parental pack at the age of 1 to 1.5 years, when they already look like adults and are ready for independent life. The first wave of departures happens during the parents' new mating, and the second when new pups are born. However, not all leave immediately. Some stay for another year or 2, helping raise the younger ones. This fact in Scandinavian packs contradicts the stereotype of wolves as a super cohesive collective, where everyone is always together. In Scandinavia, hunting usually falls on the shoulders of only the parents, whereas in American packs, for example in Yellowstone National Park, the offspring actively participate in hunts. American wolves are a classic example of a large family group, where a pack can include parents and offspring from the last 4 years, reaching from 5 to 30 individuals. Here, there's more prey, denser population, and pups linger longer, contributing to pack growth. Another pack variant arises when one parent dies. A new partner comes from outside, sometimes with their own pups, leading to complex family dynamics. For example, the daughter of a widowed female might become the partner's mate, while the old mother remains in the group. In large packs, sometimes 2 females, mother and daughter, give birth simultaneously. The daughter submits to the mother, but raises her own pups independently, showing nuances in hierarchy. In such cases, the elder female can conditionally be called alpha,
but this is rare and the term is still inappropriate. Ultimately, at the head of the pack is always the parental pair, the father and mother of most members, and the rest are their pups of various ages, helping with hunts and caring for the younger siblings. Hierarchy in a wolf family is built not on aggression and dominance, as in the myths, but on respect for the parents' experience and family ties. It's more like a human family with children of different ages, where the older ones help the younger. For communication and hunt coordination, wolves use a rich arsenal of signals: howls for gathering the pack or marking territory, barks for warning of danger, snorts for expressing irritation, and visual signals, facial expressions, body postures, and tail positions. Their mimicry is surprisingly expressive, from a friendly grin to a threatening baring of teeth. Thanks to this, hunts proceed smoothly, like an orchestra, where everyone knows their role.
In a large family group, leadership in hunts often falls to the adult pair, especially the male, thanks to accumulated experience in choosing locations and tactics. Adolescents from previous litters, year-olds or two-year-olds, become the main workforce. They are fast, energetic, and take on driving the prey, exhausting it, and encircling it. The parents coordinate and deliver the decisive bites. Young wolves risk more by pursuing large game, which develops their skills. Communication isn't limited to hunts. Scientists led by Sarah Marshall-Pescini, not Thompson, as sometimes mistakenly written, discovered that packs vote on direction of movement. An active wolf stands and shows interest, while a disagreeing one lies down. Additionally, they use yawning as a signal of relaxation or stress. All these elements are part of wolves' complex language, conveying information about mood, plans, and threats. Such coordination highlights wolves' intelligence. Their brain is 20 to 30% larger than dogs, with developed areas for smell and vision. Wolves solve puzzles better, remember territories and migration paths, assess risks. In tests, like opening food boxes, they outperform dogs, showing independent thinking. This intelligence makes them almost untrainable. Wolves don't perform commands for food, unlike dogs, selected by humans for obedience. In domestication, dogs lost brain volume, developing domestication syndrome. That's why in films, wolves are often wolf dogs, hybrids that are more trainable, as real wolves can't be trained easily. Intelligence combines with physical adaptations. Wolves are incredibly enduring, covering up to 50 miles or 80 kilometers per day, with long legs, large paws, and webbing for swimming. Their body, streamlined with a narrow chest and sloping back, is ideal for running at up to 37 miles per hour or 60 kilometers per hour. They accelerate instantly, crucial for hunting. Unfortunately, wolves are a species under threat. Some populations are on the brink of extinction due to hunting and habitat loss. Although not all subspecies are endangered, we shouldn't allow their disappearance. These amazing creatures, about which we've been mistaken for so long, deserve protection to stay with us for many generations. Like and subscribe to the channel. This will give me motivation to create more quality content for you.